Next important topic is the strategy formulation. So far what we have learned is in this hierarchical pyramid, it all starts with the organization's mission. And to achieve those missions, you set several organizational goals. And to achieve those goals, you set several organization strategies. And further, these strategies are separated based on each function. Here, like finance, marketing, operation. So let's see how those strategies are formulated. Again, an effective strategy for formulation requires taking into consideration two important aspects. First one is a core competency that we learned in our previous few slides. And the second one is the environmental scanning. And one of a key tool, very important tool to understand and use during the environmental scanning is the SWOT analysis. I'm sure many of you or all of you have used it. If not, we'll be discussing a little bit more about the SWOT analysis in few slides later on. And also we'll be pulling some websites to learn more about these about the SWOT analysis for a few companies. The next important aspect to consider is what are your order qualifiers and order winners. Oftentimes you will see, or if you talk with customers, you will always hear that customers like this feature of a certain product that your company makes, or that feature or a certain feature of your competitor's product that they like more, and so on. But what are the key factors which finally make the difference, which make your order, which make your customer place the order for the product and service that your company or your competitors pay for? Are the two most important things to consider. So those are called as either order qualifiers or order winners. We'll be learning more about it. Continued strategy formulation. Yeah, so let's see what order qualifiers are. So order qualifiers are the characteristics that the customers perceive as a minimum standard of acceptability for a product or service to be considered as a potential for purchase. And order winners. So these are the characteristics of an organization's goods or services that cause it to be perceived as a better than your competition. Next key topic is your environmental scanning. And like we discussed before, the SWOT analysis. So environmental scanning can be further classified into internal factors and external factors. And the internal factors are the strengths and weaknesses of the final product or service that your organization sells. And the external factors could be the opportunities and threats. Let's see what are the key external factors. The first one being economic conditions. So economic conditions are like a very key feature. Everything might be perfect about your product that your company is making or the service your company is providing, but who knows, the economy hits gets into a recession, or suppose there is a war going on, or suppose there is a big tornado coming that might disrupt the whole sales part, operation part. So economic conditions are key external factors, and you should know that there is a high possibility of anything happening. So any activities, any strategies that you lay down, you should consider. You should be open-minded and have a backup action for these conditions as well. Next one is similar to economic factor, uncertain political conditions, certain uncertain political conditions, or even political policies play a key role. Again, we can talk a lot about the current higher interest rate, lower interest rate, all based on the economy. Again, partially economic condition was responsible for it. And again, those economic conditions, like during the COVID, the Fed lowered the interest rates that helped several businesses in those days and helped economy survive in those days when every like the whole country and the maybe world was locked down. And now they have raised it back. So there are drawbacks of the same as well. Well, pros and cons. So somehow those the interest rates were maybe tied into economic as well as political conditions, and there's certainties or uncertainties as well. Again, like I said, pros and cons of each of them. Third one is the legal environment. Yeah, well, maybe there might be some chemicals that a certain company can't use, or there might be some other hazardous things. So legality plays a big role. Even there might be patent issues. So even though you have the best ideas or best product or services that you are wanting to sell, and who knows, well, one of our competitors found that, well, it's very similar to the idea they are already selling, so they have patented it. So that can be a factor. Next one is technology. And in fact, I'll say to some extent, technology, competition, customers, suppliers, market, they are tied in a lot to a lot extent. Say for technology, well, I will say the last, I will say 8-10 years, there is a sudden upsurge in modern, say, manufacturing technology, the 3D printing, which is a part of additive manufacturing. Similarly, laser machining, which is a part of subtractive manufacturing. So technologies play a big role, and even the AI, which is coming, catching, which has caught up a lot in last 9-10 months, is a technology factor which is disrupting several high-tech companies, jobs, functions, products, services to a lot extent, and it is still emerging. So who knows, maybe 10 months from now, there will be a solid technological impact. Things might be very efficient. That might affect lots of job functions, may or may not. Well, it's still uncertain. But again, technology plays a major role. Other part is competition. Yeah, certainly, yes. Like, we saw the example of Tesla, right? One of the key competitive strategy is innovation differentiation. So they always want to stay on top of the differentiated high tech innovation is the key thing they are looking for. So that's why they kind of completely disrupted the automobile industry, moving towards EV. Next part is, yeah, customers behavior, customers pattern, customers, how many deep pockets how many money they want to spend, like again tied into cost, quality, and so on, reliability, and so on. Suppliers also have to be considered. Well, there could be, I can give like several small or big examples. During COVID, well, again, the lots of government was encouraging, medical companies to come up with, the COVID drug and so on. So a lot of emphasis was on those. So, so all the suppliers were given like lots of discounts, or I'll say lots of benefits if they could support, the major companies to come up with drugs. Again, market conditions, markets, if you whether or not you are looking for a local market, and what are the pros and cons of selling something in a local market versus global market, and what are the changing dynamics of the market are also a few things to consider. Yeah. Moving forward, some of the key internal factors. Again, a list of 7 is generic are given here. The first one being human resource. So yeah, it's always good to know what are the merits, demerits of or I say strong benefits or strong skills your human resource has. And as the things change in the market, or the technologies change in the market, how you are going to retain them or upskill them based on the newer technologies which are coming. So even that's something to keep in mind. Next one is the facility, equipment, financial resources. Well, other way to look at all of these, the 7 listed, or 6 listed over here, are the human resource, facilities, equipment, financial resources, customers, product, service, and technology. Well, if I try to come up with a divide for all of these, say human resource or facilities, equipment, or say financial resources, or customers, products, services, or even technology, well, more or less, again, I'm just throwing some random numbers, say 1/3 of all of these internal factors or these resources we are seeing could be more on like aging technologies, aging product, age-old products, or age-old machines or equipments that are being used, which needs a strong upgrade. The next 1/3 could be your high selling product, services, or your high performance with respect to human resources or the facility equipment. Maybe that 1/3 is your highest or the most efficient facilities, equipment, uh, or technology, and the remaining, the last 1/3 could be your next generation R&D type, human resource, facilities, equipment, technology, product, services, and the customer base. So those might be still in a developing phase, which could potentially be a big merit for your company, a big benefit for your company in coming years and so on. But usually keeping all these internal key factors is knowing, understanding what's happening, what is your current state of all these resources, and how you want to utilize them in coming years is a key thing to remember. Well, on that note, maybe I'll take a small pause out here, and let's pull some of some of the websites and see some examples of the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So here are some links I've copy pasted out here. So just copy SWOT analysis for comparison Apple versus Samsung. Copy. Copy paste control, or maybe so here is a small essay. I think somebody has written a very good article explaining SWOT analysis for key competitors Apple Inc. and Samsung company. So I mean you can see like strengths represent the primary internal capability that make an organization stand out from its competitors in same industry. And as we go below, they have clearly stated the high quality of product produced by Apple Inc. is the source of strength for the company, which has enabled a loyal customer base. And as we go down, we can see a similar comparison. They have listed what are the strengths of Samsung. And again, if you compare the phones sold by Apple iPhones versus the Samsung Galaxy phones, definitely there is a strong competition. And Apple, like we have seen before, innovation is their key strategy they use. So they want uh, to always come up with some products or services or features or apps which are completely breakthrough type, which are completely industry disruptor types. But on the other hand, Samsung or Galaxy, I mean, they don't like, I mean, as so far, whatever product services they have sold, they are not like known for that industry disruptor type products or services, but they are very good at taking a competitor's product, improvising it and selling it. And even that product is unique. It has its own like benefits, and that's why the customer purchase a lot of them. So here is an example of comparison Apple, Samsung, same in case in terms of weaknesses. So company's weakness represent the negative part of aspect, and that limit it from reaching to the full potential of operational efficiency and profitability. And as you go below, the authors of this article have clearly explained what is the weakness of Apple versus what is the weakness of Samsung. And as we go below, they have explained the opportunities for Samsung, Apple, and finally the threats to the market and customers, with the customers and so on, have been explained. So there is an assignment for you all to do the same thing. SWOT analysis for Apple and Samsung. So again, I provided this web link where you are supposed to read, understand for these two companies, and you submit your answers online. And something about SWOT analysis. Well, maybe you guys can start, writing down those clear statements about the companies that you work for, the employees that you work for. Clearly state what are the top 5 strengths of your companies or the product, service, the main product service that you company is making, and what is the exactly understand, like explain what is exactly the money making model, where is the real profits or revenues coming from. And like weaknesses, what are the current weaknesses with respect to the competition and how you can improvise. I mean, that will lead you to asking questions about how you can improvise and so on. Same like threats, what like in a short term and long term, what are the threats that you perceive? Maybe you can list down 5 to 10. And opportunities, or based on those threats, like the next part is opportunity. If you want to grow your market share or improve your product, service, design, make it much more efficient, what are those opportunities you see, and how you can that will lead to further questioning about how you are going to lead to that. So maybe you can start thinking on those terms as well. So coming back to our main lecture out here, we saw this. Yeah, we saw the external factors, internal factors. Okay, just remembered about yeah, some of the, I will say, competition or customer with respect to external factors. Suppose, like, the, I will say, vacation industry or hoteling industry in general, they always come up with lots of good package to attract customers. Yeah, like if you buy this for so many days and you group them, yeah, all your travel. Not only, it's not only about reserving your hotel, but also combining it with a resort or even car, yeah, car rental cars, or even airline package. They will give you big deals. And yeah, like they were doing very well, and all of a sudden the Airbnb model came into picture. So that's an example of how competition and how your customers get affected. A second one is, yeah, the rear rental car business, all the Hertz, Budget, and so on, all the big rental car companies were, like, yeah, they were always giving out lots of deals to attract customers, and all of a sudden this, similar to Airbnb, a Turo model came into picture. So yeah, like they are kind of disrupting and taking a lot of benefits from this existing big players with respect to vacationing or hoteling or car rental. So yeah, that Airbnb and Turo are good examples of how new competition model is eating their benefits and so on. Same is the case with your traditional gasoline powered cars or automobile versus the newly disruptors, that is the EV, electric vehicle. Tesla is a good example. So they came in, all of a sudden captured a lot of market share that kind of hindered the growth sales of the existing companies, like, yeah, that were selling automobiles, gas powered automobiles. But now what's happening is these disruptors are facing another level of competition from the existing, the big players. Yeah, Ford, Chrysler, yeah, even Toyota, Honda, they are getting new EV powered cars. At the same time, lots of new guys also came into picture. Nikola, Rivian, they were like, they had very less market share, but yeah, they have done a great job. So again, that changing of customer, yeah, when changing of technologies leading to changing of customers' buying pattern, affecting competitiveness and strategies, yeah, by making bigger companies to change their strategies, models, products, services based on what customer is wanting. And similar is the case with renewable energy, I will say. So yeah, like automobile is a good example, moving away from gas powered. So again, it is tied in with the government's policy of reducing the CO2 emission. So it is believed that yeah, like the gas powered cars, automobiles, yeah, they give out lots of carbon monoxide, which is hazardous to environment. So it is believed that the EVs will reduce the usage of those. And similar to that, the automobile, EV automobile is one example. But again, there is another rebirth of, I'll say, reactors, nuclear reactors. So several companies are trying to develop small modular reactors to fuel the electricity, which is made from nuclear fission. Another example is, yeah, windmill is catching up a lot. Even say geothermal energy is catching up a lot. Similarly, I say, yeah, there is a lot of talks going on about hydrogen fuel cell automobiles. I think there are already several customers who are, or several companies who are using hydrogen fuel cells for their trucking services, trucking business, as well as I will say even some ship industries trying it. Even the railways are using it as hydrogen fuel cell. And again, the advantage, and again, there are several types of hydrogen fuel cells. I will say hydrogen produced, blue hydrogen, green hydrogen, gray hydrogen, black hydrogen. And this is all about, well, one model is using water as a source, so that those hydrogen fuel cells, well, one of the model, I think there are some top companies working on developing these technologies. I think Plug Power is one, other is FCEL, other is Bloom Energy. So what their fuel cells do is, well, they split water. Again, water is hydrogen and oxygen. So they split water, and those fuel cells, yeah, I mean, the main function is to split water. And there's a lot of energy produced, a lot of heat produced in the fuel cell. And that, yeah, that heat will be utilized in several ways to power either automobile or your home appliances and so on. So that's a concept. So again, many things are tied up over here. Again, the primary is like government's policy of reducing the carbon monoxide emission, CO2 or carbon dioxide emission. So that's why alternate energies, changing the whole dynamics of market dynamics, affecting lots of, I'll say, gas powered technology and so on. So yeah, these are just some examples. Moving forward, the missions and strategies. So yeah, like as per this book, there are four main strategies listed. The first one is your supply chain strategy. What this is about how the organization should work with suppliers and policies related to customer relationship and sustainability. As we go, we'll be learning a lot, like in depth about this topic. So for now, I'll just stick to the basic. The next one being sustainability strategy. So again, the organizations have to work with governmental regulations and interest groups to achieve sustainable goals. Yeah, like previously I said about the carbon monoxide. Government is highly encouraging if companies can develop some commercial products that will reduce the carbon dioxide CO2 emission or carbon monoxide emissions into environment. Third one is the global strategy. So it's about how the organizations work with the international suppliers, producers, and also with countries where the products and services are sold. The final one is the organization strategy. And again, these are high level. Within organization, you can still develop multiples of these strategies within the supply chain or international or sustainability or operation strategies as well. So an operation strategy is nothing but it is the approach consistent with the organization's overall strategy that is used to guide the operations functions. Here are some key operations management related decision areas, and on the right hand side you can see what so here in the first column you are seeing the different areas where you take several operations related decisions, and on the next column what you are seeing is how these decisions affect the business. And again, like if you look at many or maybe all of them somewhere or other, this cost, quality as well as flexibility is tied into multiple of these decision areas. So it's all about that, how you can run an operation that will reduce cost or waste, reduce waste, which is again tied into the cost. Again, how you can make something or provide something with consistent quality. Flexibility is like how well you can adapt to the changing type of product, service, or market conditions, or customer liking, wants, needs and wants, and so on. So I will just read from top to bottom here. The first decision area is your product and service, and the areas it affects is the cost, quality, liability, and environmental issues. Next one is the capacity. So again, it affects the cost, structure, flexibility, and so on. And like I said, this cost, quality, flexibility are more or less involved in all of them. And it's all about, for business to be profitable, these are the main considerations. Next one is your process selection and layout. We'll be learning. There is a whole topic on this. Same is the case with work design. Then location, quality, inventory, maintenance, scheduling, supply chain, and projects. So these are the key areas and these are the benefits and what areas it affects with respect to the decision. Yeah, the next important strategy is the quality-based strategy. So this strategy is nothing but this strategy. So the strategy that focuses on quality in all phases of the organization is your quality-based strategy. So again, here you pursue of such a strategy is rooted in number of factors. The first one being try to overcome a poor quality reputation. Maybe there was a situation where there were quality issues and some of the customers didn't like it, so you lost some customers. So again, you try to implement your quality-based strategy or formulate quality-based strategy where you're trying to overcome it. And again, this is very normal. A customer representative will come to you and they say, okay, now we have improvised these. These are the new corrective actions or new technologies that we have brought into our operations. So do you want to give a try based on our years of relationships and so on? Do you still trust us? You want to give a shot? So maybe that's the first point listed over here. So you try to come up with quality-based strategy where you're trying to overcome a poor quality reputation. Second one is your a desire to maintain a quality image. Yeah, so maybe there are some products and services a customer is purchasing from you for years. So you try to maintain that quality image, and in the indirectly you're also maintaining the market share, either maintaining a high market share or still increase the market share. The next one is the desire to catch up with the competition. Yeah, same, like more or less it's all about gaining the market share. So you catch up with the competition, try to match with them, or still try to increase your market share. The last is a part of cost reduction strategy. And well, again, this is another very broad point, and as we go, we'll be discussing a lot about the cost reduction strategies. What are the waste you identify, and how you come up with some corrective plans to reduce those costs. So again, on a high level, this is what a quality-based strategy is. Next one is a time-based strategies. Again, doing things or providing things, good services in less time is the key takeaway from this strategy. So time-based strategies, these are the strategies that focus on reduction of time needed to accomplish a task. It is believed that if by reducing time, costs are lower, quality is higher, productivity is higher, time to market is faster, and customer service is improved. Conditionally, to a high extent, this statement is true, very, very true, and almost all the companies strive for this to get things done faster. Indirectly, I mean, if you go to some companies, you'll often see some of their one of their main I'll say strategy or a tagline says, uh, do things right first time every time. So that is indirectly what they are meaning is reduce rework, reduce actual rework of the product, service, or process reprocessing. So that will help in lowering time for all the items that are produced, or services which are provided by the company. So this is a time-based strategy. Few of the areas where time-based strategies applies, and again, this is a very good list on a high level. And if you nail down, there will be many more you can come up with. But on a high level, these are the areas where time-based strategies can be applied. So you want to develop plan strategies to reduce your planning time, product service design time, the whole processing time, changeover time, delivery times, response time for complaints. Next one is your agile operation. And when the term agile comes into picture, it's all about flexibility. So remember, agile operation or agile is synonymous to your flexibility. So agile operation is a strategic approach for competitive advantage that emphasizes the use of flexibility to adapt and prosper in environment of change. Yeah. And on a very higher level, it all involves about blending the key core competencies that are, cost, reducing cost, improving quality, making things very consistently, reliability. Yeah, your process is reliable, your product is reliable. It can go on and on for a longer time without any required services or fixes. Flexibility, how fast you'll be able to adapt the change. So your agile operations are based on that. And oftentimes, one of a key approach or key strategy is to maintain a very balanced approach. And for that, I'll go one slide further and come back. So here is a picture. So you kind of come up with a common balanced scorecard, keeping in mind here these four core competencies here: cost, quality, reliability, flexibility. So if I come up with a scorecard with respect to the finance department, how can maybe you can write down, say 95 or 99% cost effective, or your operations are like 99% efficient. So that will help you in reducing the cost. Second one is quality. Yeah. So how many defects your companies produce, and you keep an annual goal for it, not more than 4 defective parts, or not more than so many reworks, or maybe 5% of rework, or maybe 5% of defects are allowed per year, and so on. So you maintain that type of scorecard. Same thing applies for customer service, efficiency of internal business processes. And again, like here, your goal, you're only trying to come up with a high level of number. But again, you maintain a balanced scorecard using the same criteria for each of the department: cost, quality, reliability, and performance, or reduce complaints. With respect to financial department, customer service department, internal business process department, organization like innovation or R&D department, and overall they tie in towards the whole bigger strategy, business strategy. So this is what the balanced scorecard means. So it's a top-down management system that organizations can use to clarify their vision and strategy and transform them into actions. Again, an approach will be develop common objectives, keeping in mind the four main core competencies in mind. Second one is develop metrics and targets for each objective. Like I said, I think in the first lecture I mentioned about qualifying, quantifying. So have clearly qualified, quantified metrics and targets to achieve. Next one is develop initiatives to achieve those objectives. Next one is to identify links between various perspectives, that is finance, customer, or yeah, all the business segments tying in together. And finally, monitoring the results. Very important. Oftentimes, like any task or a goal that is continuously monitored in a timely manner, maybe on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly manner. So it adds to visibility. So you know how you are doing, whether you are at the normal, like a constant path, or whether the quality or the cost is increasing or decreasing, and reasons behind that. So it's very important to monitor the results. And yeah, this is what we saw, maintaining a balanced scorecard for all the different functions. So yeah, come up with a standardized a metric and try to follow it. The last part is the productivity.